Alright, Shalom.
Shalom.
Before we start, like always, I want to start off by giving all praises, honor, and glory to
Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem,
Kodash.
Kodash.
Double honors to the apostles and elders. I give Millstone, GMS, the men who rule and teach well. I also want to say peace and salutations be unto you, fellow brothers, you Akim that are also pushing at this word in truth, sincerity, and in faith. And those who in this video, we're just going to be discussing Osalaki bringing out topics, bringing out precepts on topics, just like this moment, on essentially how in these upcoming days and weeks, months, all right, this upcoming months, we're coming into a season, all right, which is the world knows it as the holiday season, all right, which includes chronologically what's that, Thanksgiving, Christmas, I think also Valentine's Day. These high holy days, according to the enemy Esau Edom, that they have the world, mostly our people, keeping, all right, and what's the word? Observing these high, so-called high holy days or holidays, all right. But according to the scriptures, all right, when these things come to pass, all right, guess what? With these upcoming prophecies, the Lord is going to turn it upside down, man. All right, and guess what? He's going to turn these holidays, these seasons, into what, as people might think, a joyous time, but in reality, it's going to be a time of mourning, lamentation, and woe, as the scriptures describe it. Okay.
So we say, we just passed, so-called, Halloween, which is wicked. All right, we had the full moon. These are signs, man. All right, because the Lord's gonna bring even more judgment. We already see the different uproars of the people, which was prophesied in Esdras. All right, prophesied different areas of different parts of the scriptures. Okay, so already also with this COVID thing going on, your typical holidays ain't gonna be the same. All right, Christmas ain't gonna be the same this year, and we got the elections coming up. So things is gonna move. Things is gonna shift for the worse. So it's Amos 8:8. Shall not the land tremble for this, and everyone mourn that dwelleth therein?
Mm-hmm.
And it shall rise up wholly as a flood, and it shall be cast out and drowned as by the flood of Egypt. And are you sure this is the right one?
Can we read that one more time?
From the top?
Read that verse.
Yeah, Amos 8, verse 8. Shall not the land tremble for this, and everyone mourn that dwelleth therein?
So what? Shall not this land tremble? Shall this land mourn? Because when you read in that same book, specifically Amos, the last chapter, what's that? Amos 9, I think, right?
I think so, yeah.
Amos chapter
Sinful
9,
kingdom.
we're right, where it talks about the sinful kingdom. And where is that place, man? All right, the sinful kingdom is right here, man. All right, in the good old US of A, man, which in the scriptures is known as Babylon. In the scriptures, it's also known as Egypt, all right? Spiritual Sodom and Egypt, all right? Because it inhabits all the homosexual vibes and essentially all the wicked spirits of all past kingdoms, all right? So we know that this place is indeed the virgin daughter of Babylon, also that the scriptures talk about, which is also prophesied to be destroyed. And so in that, well, guess what? Our people dwell here, all right? And they are partaking in this wickedness. They are partaking in the iniquities of the Edomites, all right? Causing them to what? Essentially associate themselves with their sins. And because of that, what? The Lord is going to destroy this place, along with the inhabitants, man. The brother mentioned also what Esdras, right? Which in the book of Esdras contains what? Prophecy. The whole book, all right? The Holy Bible is contains prophecies upon prophecies. And when you read about in Esdras, what it says, woe to the world, and then that dwell therein. All right, so that's how you know what the Lord is bringing isn't going to be happy, and that's why what? The land shall tremble. The people are going to mourn.
Yeah, even the prophecy of Yahweh Shai coming back on a chariot is in Ezra, the book of Esdras, the second, second Esdras. Even the prophecy of the missiles, okay? Those different things are prophesied in the book of Esdras. And those things will come to pass, all right? And we're living in the times where it's going to come to pass really soon.
Mm-hmm.
So this is Amos 8 and 8, continuing on. And it shall rise up wholly as a flood, and it shall be cast out and drowned as by the flood of Egypt.
Yeah, you can get to verse.
Skip to verse 10?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Verse 10, and I will turn your feasts into mourning,
Mm-hmm.
and all your songs into lamentation.
Right.
And I will bring up sackcloth upon all loins, and baldness upon every head, and I will make it as the mourning of an only son, and the end thereof as a bitter day.
Yeah, and what it mentioned, turning your feasts Or is it something bitter, something that's not joyous? And concerning feasts, what's the upcoming feast according to Esau? Thanksgiving. All right. Right now it's November, I think 2nd or 3rd. All right. Not sure I'm on the can't really check right now on the date. Yo, come November the 2nd.
Second.
All right. So
Today is the second.
legit, in a few weeks from now, we're gonna America, all right, Babylon, and unfortunately, the rest of our people, all right, the majority of our people, 2/3 out of the nation of Israel, man, ignorant so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, are gonna be celebrating Thanksgiving, man, which was the downfall of the Gadites, man, all right, which is the so-called Native Americans, all right, that they used to inhabit this place, man, before the Edomites came. So why is it that our people are celebrating these feasts, man? All right. Because ultimately it's because of that lack of knowledge. Ultimately, all right. And when you dig deep into the scriptures, not only did they lack knowledge, but they also rejected when the Lord told them the truth. All right, which is a moth in the Hebrew. All right. So we know what concerning these things, the Lord is gonna turn things upside down, like I mentioned before. And these feasts, these upcoming holidays, which is meant to be joyous, a time for people just to forget about the troubles of America and to live in mirth. That's all gonna be thrown right out the window, man. And really, America's not even in mirth right now, man. And ultimately, with the elections coming up, and really whatever outcome happens during the elections this time of year, it's gonna cause strife. It's gonna cause a controversy in this land, and that's why, Slock, and that's why with however which outcome, there's gonna be major uproars of the people. So it doesn't matter which way it goes, man, because ultimately it's the word of the Lord that things get. That all hell breaks loose here in America very, very soon.
Yeah, I was gonna say, it doesn't matter which way it goes, because either way prophecy has to be fulfilled, and prophecy will be fulfilled. All right. So either way, it's gonna go bad. All right. Even if it might seem peaceful at first, maybe I doubt it, but hey, it's still gonna go bad. Why? Because the prophecies. That's it. That's why.
If you can get Jeremiah 10, start at verse 1.
Yeah.
Bookshare.
It was the book of Jeremiah. Chapter 10 and verse you said 1?
1.
Con. Yeah, Jeremiah chapter 10 and verse 1. Hear ye the word which the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahushai speaketh unto you, O house of Israel. Thus saith the Lord Yahweh Yahushai, learn not the way of the heathen, and be not dismayed at the signs of heaven, for the heathen are dismayed at them.
Exactly. The heathen. All right, and who is this specific heathen that we're talking about? We're talking about the Edomites, man, the so-called white man, because they don't go back to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, man. All right, they're not the true Jews.
They go back to They don't go back to Jacob. They go to They did come out of Abraham and Isaac.
Kind of course, the word for the correction. Of course, what they don't go back to what ultimately Israel. All right, the forefather of the blessing. Okay, they don't pertain to those people. So guess what? Therefore, they're heathens. All right, they're not the sons of the promise, man. All right. If anything, they did the sons of the.
Actually, the scriptures say that the curse of the Lord is in the house of the wicked.
And guess what? That's how we know who they are, man. All right. So concerning them, we know that this message goes out to us. All right. That's what the brother read in the first verse. If you can read that again.
Yeah, it says, Jeremiah 10 and 1. Hear ye the word which the Lord Yahweh Yahushai speaketh unto you, O house of Israel.
There you go, O house of Israel. So what? You ought to hearken, man. Shemai, listen to the words of the Lord, man. Listen to what the Lord is going to tell you. All right? Well, via his prophets. They're going to tell you to know what? To not follow the ways of the heathen. And that's exactly what it is. Where in the scriptures is Christmas? Saint Patrick's Day. All right? Valentine's Day. What else?
Halloween.
Of course, Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving. Halloween, right? Which really what? The word Halloween goes back to the word hallowed, if I'm not mistaken, which in turn hallowed means holy. But there's nothing holy about that, man. There's nothing holy about any of these holidays, man. If anything, when you look up the word holiday, it literally breaks down to the word holy and, of course, day. Meaning what? A sanctified day. But these aren't sanctified, man. These aren't sanctified by Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, man. And you can't find it nowhere in the scriptures, okay? And there's always common misconceptions about these so-called holidays, especially Christmas, all right? The majority of the world thinking that the birth of our Lord was in the 25th of December, and in the mid. In the dead ass winter, but that's false. These among many of things is what? It's just heathenistic customs that our people are cleaving onto, man, ignorantly. And what's worse, when they come across the prophets of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, they choose to reject it, and they still go on to their into their own ways, man. You know, wearing what's it called, Santa Claus hats. Sending their women chocolates and flowers. Which that's another thing. I don't even get me started on that. But what Valentine's Day, which is under the Queen of Heaven worship, man. The Queen of Heaven, the worship of the Queen of Heaven. All right. So many amongst these things, it comes with spirits, and ultimately it's the customs of the heathen, man, which what we ought not to follow.
Yeah, Christmas is spoken against in this very chapter we're reading, Jeremiah 10. All right, and it says, verse 2 says to learn not the way of the heathen, because what they have their ways, we have ours. We were made a holy people. We have laws, statutes, and commandments to live by, all right, which are still in effect. Your salvation is not through the law, statutes, and commandments, but we still have to keep the law, statutes, and commandments to the best of our ability. Mm-hmm. All right. So, you want me to grab the scripture?
You got anything else?
Yeah, I have
okay,
two.
Let me get this first. This is Jeremiah chapter 30, verse 15. It says, "Why criest thou for thine affliction? Thy sorrow is incurable for the multitude of thy iniquity. Because thy sins were increased, I have done these things unto thee." All right, and the reason about this precept is because what you see amongst these amongst these upcoming holidays, you see, of course, the uproars of the people amongst many cities in America, man. You know, whether it be the slaying of Jake, or ultimately the restrictions concerning the COVID-19. All right, people not feeling safe. Consulaki, we had an interruption. This is Jeremiah chapter 30 and 15. It says, "Why criest thou for thine affliction? Thy sorrow is incurable for the multitude of thine iniquity. Because thy sins were increased, I have done these things unto thee." All right, and the reason about this precept is because amongst the upcoming holidays, of course, you have the uproars of the people happening all over America, man. All right, because mostly because of the COVID restrictions, which is actually happening over there in Italy, but as well as the slaying of our people, man. You know, but people don't know that. People don't know that. Why these things are happening. Of course, because of the curses, but also because of the multitude of their iniquities. You know, the Lord is not going to cast judgment for people for nothing. You know, so the next time you see people being slain in the streets, just know this, man. All right, you're likened unto the heathen, man. All right, you're doing wickedly in the eyes of the Lord, especially in these upcoming days and months and weeks, man. We know for a fact, man. All right, even based off our brother's own eyes. All right, the wickedness of our people during these times, man. All right, the sins and iniquity that our people partake in these upcoming days and weeks, man. All right, is horrendous. All right, because it's a certain spirit, ultimately witchcraft, man. It's ultimately witchcraft that's played on our people to do these things. All right, because ultimately the Lord is behind this. All right, because because of the amount of iniquity and sins our people have been piling up over years, man. All right, and the Lord is sick of it, which is why He's taking action and causing all this terrors to our people, man. And guess what? It's only the beginning. All right.
Sirach 39:28. There be spirits that are created for vengeance, which in their fury lay on sore strokes. In the time of destruction they pour out their force and appease the wrath of him that made them. Right, because the spirits, those spirits are going to be ramped up, and Jake is going to be getting judged out here because the Lord is angry with what they're doing. Especially those of you that know that you're Israelites and you continue to be American Israelites, all right, Babylonians. You you're an Israelite, but you still celebrate Halloween, Thanksgiving, and Christmas. All right, the Lord has special judgments for you, because especially if and the rest of you Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans that don't want to hearken unto the words of the Lord, you're going to receive your judgment for partaking in that wickedness. Okay? Mm-hmm. It says fire and hail and famine and death, all these were created for vengeance. Right? This is for vengeance. Okay? And the verse above it said, and appease the wrath of him that made them. Right? Because, the Lord isn't judging these people for no reason. Mm-hmm. The scriptures say whoever perished being innocent. I believe that's in Job. Okay? So, I'm going to get another precept real quick.
Go ahead. If it's the last
one. 2 Esdras 15:5. Behold, saith the Lord Yahweh Yahweh Shai, I will bring plagues upon the world, the sword, famine, death, and destruction. Right, and the reason why I brought that out is because it's exactly what's coming. All right, people think that holiday season's coming. Yeah, we have to wear masks and stuff like that. We have to social distance, but let's still enjoy this time, this time of cheer, so to speak. No, all right. The Lord's gonna, shut this stuff down, man. All right. He's gonna bring these plagues upon the world, and these wicked people are gonna feel it. All right. Point blank.
Okay.
Period. And that's the point.
Hey, so with that, we wanna end off by giving all praises, honor, and glory to
Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai Ba'Shem HaKadosh.
double honors to the apostles and elders at Great Millstone, the men who rule and teach well. I just want to say peace and salutations be unto you, full of Akim, your brothers that are also pushing out this word and true faith and its sincerity. And with that, I want to say shalom.
Shalom.